Just sat here for 8 minutes talking about my racist fucking coworker, and it didn't save. I'm so mad. But anyways, I started it off with saying how much I missed talking to you guys. So I have been working all of last week, and they were long days, so I wasn't really able to come back and film as much as I would have liked, or the stuff I would have liked. But I've been saving ideas. I have a lot of ideas, a lot of things to talk about in my notes. Not to get into like the real good stuff. But I was saying, is my coworker being racist towards me? So let me start my story again. I met this coworker in 2022. I met him, and he was like talking to me fine. Like he was really chill. Like he was cool. Up until like maybe the next day or something, where all of a sudden like some switch went off or something, where he just became a fucking weirdo. He's like, "Oh, do you speak Spanish?" I'm like, "Yeah." He started speaking to me in Spanish. Hate crime. Hate crime. So after that, he just started talking to me in Spanish. And I'm like, that's a hate crime. You know that? Like, that's a hate crime. Why do you think it's okay to just start talking to me in Spanish? And it's like, do I understand you? Yeah, of course I understand you. Like, I took 3 Spanish classes to get my degree. But my Spanish is reserved for my grandma. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't care. Go cry about it, you know? He kind of, like, bothered me that he did that, you know? Like, all of a sudden, you're gonna be like, "Oh, you speak Spanish?" Yeah, and then all of a sudden you want to speak Spanish. And the thing is too, it's like I would totally understand if it was like his native language, he was fluent in it, whatever. He's more comfortable speaking in that. Because I have 2 coworkers that they're more comfortable in speaking Spanish, and they're really, really sweet. Like I like them. This man, however, no, like he doesn't even speak Spanish properly. Like he's speaking it like as if you're learning it, and I'm just like, oh, so you're just trying to hate crime me. Like, what the actual fuck? Anyways, I never saw him again for 2 years. I didn't see that dude for 2 years. And in May, I saw him again. I go, motherfucker. You know, like, I just let it be because I never saw him after that. So I was like, okay, fine. Then in May, I saw him, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? But it was fine in May. Like, I didn't really talk to him. Cut to this week. Oh, I saw him this week there at my work. And I was like, fuck, it's him, you know? Like, he's here. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like, avoid him. Don't talk to him. Like, please. Maybe he forgot. Maybe he's not going to talk to me in Spanish. I don't know. Like, it just makes me uncomfortable. Because that's ugly as fuck, you know? That's ugly as fuck. They're, like, chilling. And I've been, you know, talking to people all day and stuff. And, you know, sometimes when, like, someone asks you a question, you're kind of like, huh? But I feel like especially prevalent when you're, like, in a mode of, like, something. So, like, if you're not really paying attention that much, but then someone talks to you in Spanish, you're kind of like, huh? Oh, wait, did they just talk to me in Spanish? Or, like, the other way around? Kind of what happened. Anyway, so I'm just there, like, chilling. And he pulls up and he says something to me. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I realize, did this motherfucker just speak to me in Spanish? Like, there's no way in absolute fucking hell this motherfucker just came up to me and spoke to me in fucking Spanish. Like, absolutely no way this guy just did that. Like, that's absolutely fucking ridiculous, right? And so I'm like, excuse me? Like, huh? And then he says it again in Spanish. And I'm like, you fucking bitch. Like, you bitch. You did not just do that to me. Like, that's absolutely fucking insane. And the thing is, too, it's like, like I said, he's not even speaking, like, proper Spanish. It's not his native language, like, all these things. Maybe if he has some fucking lineage of where his family spoke Spanish or whatever. Okay, but don't fucking try that bullshit on me. I'm just there, and he says, I'm like, huh? And then he says the thing in Spanish. And I answer him in English. Because, like, I'm not going to speak Spanish back to you. Like, I'm really not. Especially not you, motherfucker. Like, my Spanish is reserved for my grandma mainly. And, like, my resume. And you better be paying me extra if I want to speak Spanish. You know what I mean? What the actual fuck is this dude doing? And so he says that. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? He leaves. And then the next day, he, like, follows it up. Like, he spoke Spanish to me again. And I'm like, what the absolute fuck? Like, what do you mean? He speaks to me in Spanish again. And I'm like, oh my God, there's no way. So I tell my friend, I'm like, is this a hate crime? Like, is he doing this shit on purpose? Because there's no way in hell. Like, what the actual fuck? And, you know, he's saying something like, muy caliente. And I'm exactly like that. And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Just say it's hot. Just say it's fucking hot. Like, I'm not your fucking Duolingo. If you're trying to learn Spanish, you're trying to practice your Spanish, I'm not the one. You gonna pay me? I'm not the one. I'm really not. So he said something like that, and I just answered like, yeah, it is hot today, or something. Or I just completely ignore him sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. And like I feel bad because I don't want to ignore people, but like you're being a fucking weirdo. You really are. Do I look like the Duolingo owl? Don't answer that. But it's just weird and awkward that you fucking do that to me every single time you see me. And the thing is, he's not talking Spanish to everybody else. Like if he was talking to other people in Spanish because that's what he felt comfortable in, cool. But he's not. Like he really isn't. It's just like so stupid and annoying, right? I told my friend, I was like, hey, is this kind of weird? He's like, no, that's fucking weird, dude. I'm like, exactly. Like, why would he think that's okay? It was the last day when I finally decided, you know what, maybe I'm gonna try to like record the audio of my interaction with him so you can just see that I'm not tripping, like that I'm literally just there not talking, and he'll just all of a sudden start talking to me in Spanish. So I decided I'm going to record and send this to my friend so he can see like what I'm talking about. Tell me why the motherfucker doesn't do anything. I'm there, he shows up for his shift, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna record him so my friend can see what I'm talking about. And this motherfucker pulls up with the, hello, how are you today? Fuck you, bitch. Like, what do you mean, hello, how are you today? You know, like, what do you mean? You've been hate criming me all week and all of a sudden you don't want to hate crime me anymore? That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Like, I find it very, very weird that you decided to practice your Spanish on me or whatever you want to call it. Like, that's suspicious. Like, don't do that, dude. That's fucking weird. And so, yeah, but like, I haven't spoken to him. I hope I don't see him for a while. Let's hope for another 2 years so I don't have to see him ever again. But yeah, it's just like weird. I'm just like, what the fuck do you mean? That's what I've been dealing with, that weird coworker. Let me know if you think it's racist, because I low-key do now that I say it out loud. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, at my Duolingo, you know, why would you decide it's all of a sudden okay for you to practice your Spanish on me or whatever you're doing? And it's not like I'm over here, like, it's not like he's doing me a favor, you know, it's not like I don't speak English and he needs to speak to me in Spanish for me to understand better, you know? Like, dude, cool your shit. I don't know, that's just weird. That's what I really wanted to talk about. And I have more stories from working, but I don't know if I should do them all now or if I should wait a little bit. Maybe a different dedicated video. I think there's some people that I want to tell a different dedicated video to. I'm just gonna leave it out there for my weird coworker. I don't know, I spoke to like one of my, I'm just gonna call him like a superior, you know, someone that was like in charge of me these past few days. I spoke to him about it. I go, hey, that dude over there, he's kind of weird, right? He's like, no, yeah, like he's a little off. And I'm like, yeah, he's kind of just been speaking to me in Spanish, but it's like, also, why do you assume I speak Spanish? Because my thing is, like, the last time I saw you was 2 years ago. How the fuck do you remember I could speak Spanish? Because if not, then at that point you're just being because if not, then at that point you're just being racist. You know, like you're just racially profiling. You're just racially profiling me. Because, you know, I remember you because you're the weirdo that asked me if I spoke Spanish and then started speaking to me in Spanish. But please tell me if you think that's like a big deal. You know? Sorry if my story isn't like as concise as I would have wanted it to be. It's just that I really feel like I had it like set up really good when I recorded it the first time, and like I told it really well. And then somehow the video deleted. Like it just deleted. I went to go grab a product and it was gone. I mean, I don't know if I'd call it racist. My friend would though. My friend was like, no, that's racist. I'm like, okay, maybe it is. Maybe I need to learn how to stand my ground. You know? Set boundaries, because that's crazy. Like, there's no way in hell you're actually doing that to me right now, you know? It's like if I met a person that speaks French and then started trying to speak fucking French to them because I took French on Duolingo and I'm fucking level 2 or something, you know? Like maybe we don't. You know, like maybe we just don't do that, guys. How about, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of ridiculous. That's kind of crazy. How hard is it to not be weird when someone speaks a different language? You know what I mean? You know, this would totally be a different conversation if he was like, oh, like, how's my Spanish or something? Once, if you're like, how's my Spanish? But he wasn't like that, you know? But speaking it as if he's fucking the president of Mexico or something. But I think he kind of learned this week that I don't like it, because every time he would say something in Spanish, I'd be like, huh? Or I would ignore him or answer him back in English. My lashes are the shittiest lashes ever, so like the mascara's not gonna do much, but it's something. So yeah, let me know what you think of my story. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be doing the makeup again. So this is the finished look. Sorry, I'm like trying to show you my eyes. But this is the finished look. Let me know what you think. Let me know if he's being weird. And I'm excited to be back. I have to keep posting. Bye.